Hello, I'm Ash Cash, and this is the Wealthy Sis Talk Show. On today's show, we'll be talking about various amounts of topics like real estate, investing in the youth, leaving a legacy, as well as women's health care. In today's economy, we have to think about a lot of things. What are we going to leave behind for those? What kind of legacy? Right now we're struggling with leaving legacies, but then we're also struggling with building our credit, and we need to figure out how to focus. The one thing I love as a millennial about being able to purchase my own home is that I can finally buy avocado toast now. And I can go to Starbucks at least once a week, which is really fun. During the home buying process can be very stressful. One of the things they ask you to do is give you your last 2 months of transactions from your bank account, and then they'll go into detail on what those transactions are. It was very embarrassing for me one time when my broker asked me about a Venmo transaction, and I had to tell him, unfortunately, he wanted to go 50-50 on the date. But with all of that, I ended up getting a house. But right now, I'm just like, what am I going to do with this house? I feel like the world is about to end in a couple of years anyways. And I don't think that my HOA is going to let me build a bunker. But with everything going on, I've just been, trying to get out there. But I feel like our lines are getting crossed as millennials between dating, building our legacy and real estate agents. Like the other day I was on a dating app and a guy had a whole list of criteria that he wanted, but it was really kind of weird. It started out normal. It was just like, oh, he doesn't want anyone with kids, no drinking, no smoking, then no pets. And I'm just like, sir, are you trying to be my boyfriend or my landlord? Is this, Tinder or apartments.com? Where are we going right now? But, that's been fun. But, we also have to think about as millennials starting to leave our legacy for those, behind us and everything that's going on. But right now, the biggest legacy I have is my pop collection. And the most valuable thing I probably have is my account on World of Warcraft. Those hordes are going to be very sad when I get left behind. Just investing in the youth is also going to be something that we have to think about. But right now, it's hard for me to think about investing in the youth when I can barely take care of myself. How am I going to invest in the youth when I'm just trying to figure out how to change the batteries on my smoke detector? How am I going to, the best way I think I can invest in the youth is by not having kids, because honestly, I think I'm saving tens of kids by not having my own, because I know mine, along with all the ones that my kid would come in contact with, would probably be a terror to this place. So that's my legacy, I think. And then going into, just as women, navigating through this world, thinking about healthcare. Today we're going to have a doula on, and I think that's very interesting. I've never been pregnant and never had to gone through pregnancy, but if you don't know, a doula helps you through the pregnancy process. But honestly, I just want to be able to help me through my cramps every month, because honestly, that's probably the worst pain I think I'm ever going to feel. But, maybe we can call them a semi-doula, or maybe a doula light, medium, or heavy, but we can workshop that. But, we have a bunch of topics we're going to talk about today, very interesting stuff. Thank you for coming out. Welcome to Wealthy Sis Network. My name is Ash Cash.